I'm going to introduce everyone and how long they've been, and I'm going to actually start with our newest member, Leo Amuedo. Leo, this is his first week in the band.
Wow.
He's from Brazil. He has a new album out. He's a very famous guitar player from South America. And Leo can tell you stuff. Bice needs no introduction.
The infamous
Dylan Eilse. Dylan is from New Zealand. Been in the band 2.5 years?
A year and a half.
Year and a half? Close enough?
Yeah.
Year and a half? Okay. He's our drummer, guitarist. So, you guys can ask whatever you want.
rock on.
All right.
Welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome, Walt Disney World. It's your first time performing at the Flower and Garden Festival, so you've had any time to kind of have fun, explore before the concert. When you got here, what's the first thing you did?
Well, the first thing I did when I got here was take my kids out to the pool and let them run all of their energy off, right? Because you know as well as I do, once you hit that exit, like I think it's 250 or something, everything goes downhill from there, right?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. You know, the kids and I and my wife have been here for a couple of days, getting to enjoy. We come down here. This is you know, a place we love to visit. I was joking around with these guys in the van. I said, you know, one of the friends that was with us, like, Bo needs to slow down a little bit. He's walking around fast, and I turn around. Bo's not the one that needs to slow down. It's my wife that I'm trying to catch here. You know. So, you know, it's always a lot of fun when we get to come here to the happiest place on earth, man.
First thing for me, just looked around, man. You know, it's my first time to Orlando, actually, and to one of the Disney, you know, part of a branch of the business as well. So it's really cool for me. Coming from New Zealand, it's so far away, but we grew up with everything Disney and, you know, all the same cartoons and everything like that. So it's pretty surreal being here and being able to perform. So just checked the place out a bit and got a little bit of rest as well. So before sound check and yeah.
But you do have Aussie land there just south of you in Australia, right? They don't have the mouse; they have the kangaroo.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, we got our own. We got our native animal is the kiwi. So we got, like, you know, cartoons with the kiwi bird. But it's nothing like Mickey. You know, everyone loves Mickey.
That's right.
Yeah.
You, sir.
What did I do? I did more or less what Dylan said because we came together. So we came, like, it was already end afternoon or something.
Yeah.
And we had to sound check. So that was yesterday. So we had a little chance to just look around. And first time for me here also. I've been to Disney Paris because I used to live in Europe before, but it's of course it's completely different. The one in Paris is smaller. It's beautiful too, but I was really looking forward to finally know this place. And I think tomorrow we're gonna have more time.
Yeah. Tomorrow we're gonna hit some rides here.
So since you've been here before, Bo, what's your favorite attraction?
Well, normally my favorite thing to do is to go on the Toy Story ride, and because it is a major challenge in our family to see who can get the most points. And so that is one of our favorite things to do. And you know, this time for me was very special because my kids never had a chance to experience Epcot, you know, fully before. A lot of our stuff is centralized in the Magic Kingdom. And I think one of the things I love most about Disney is over the past, oh goodness, I'd say at least 5-6 years that we've been coming, it's always fun for the kids, but there's really so much more now to do for the adults. When I was a kid and my parents brought me here, you know, they were stuck. They were stuck with the kids, you know. And now Disney is so much more. They've got the availability for parents to enjoy fine dining, but yet also, you know, to be able to just kick back and be a kid yourself, you know, and not take it too serious. So.
And great concerts.
Oh man, great concerts.
We're thinking about that.
My son still wants to know where the golf club is that knocks this big ball out. And if you saw my golf game, the head of my golf club is that big already. So. But yeah, this is really a lot of fun. Epcot has been the highlight of our trip this year.
And you've kind of got a Disney connection with ABC as well, with American Idol. So what was that like to be there in the heyday and now having that all come to a close? It's really like the close of an era, and you've been there associated with for a long time. What did that feel like?
Well, you know, one of the things about the, and I throw this out, the American Idol experience, because Disney invited us to help open the American Idol experience many years back. And so that was really a highlight for me, to be a part of that brand. It has now come to a close, 15-year run. It was great. I was just out there celebrating with them last week and helping close things down. And I really do. I think that you put it the perfect way. It's just the end of an era, and I think that that particular show opened up so many opportunities for different people, myself being one of them. But also, it has opened up, you know, opportunities for other television shows that I won't name their names. But you know, they've got success because they followed a format that was close. Their own original one, but that was close. So I think that it's what is that whole thing? Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So 15-year run. You know, the only tears that we shed that night were tears of happiness because so many people had their dreams come true. And I've got a feeling that, you know, there's going to be many, many people that look back on the American Idol brand in 5 years from now and say, man, I just wish I kind of had a, you know, had a little piece of that. So, but us artists are still out touring. I mean, I'm out here with one of the greatest bands on earth, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And if I hadn't played Spinning Wheel on the show, they would have never known about me. So I owe a lot to American Idol, and I owe a lot to my friends here in Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh yeah, and that, if you don't mind my kind of jumping onto that, now classic music, I mean, I'm showing my age, I remember Blood, Sweat, and Tears music from, the first time around, but what's that like, bringing it to the audiences now? Because, I mean, I think it's some of the greatest music there is. What is that like, bringing it with old fans and making new fans?
Dylan, you feel this one.
I was not born in the era of when Blood, Sweat, and Tears were around, you know, were huge, so... It was definitely a band that I knew of because my parents listened to stuff. So getting an email from the original drummer was pretty surreal. You know, I mean, there's a sort of funny story behind all that. But when I was contacted by the manager was when I kind of knew it was all real. And then I flew out here and sat in with the band. So it's been a crazy experience over the last year and a half. I'm very fortunate to be playing with a band that is not only has the catalog that it does, but to have the musicians, the caliber of musicians that it has. The things that a lot of these guys have done or are doing currently as well is pretty incredible. So I'm very fortunate, and there's always other people out there that are being brought in and things like that to help you keep your game up and inspire you while you're playing. So it's a forever moving vehicle with this band, so I'm very fortunate and very grateful for the opportunity and to be in this band. So that's me.
So before you joined the band, did you have a favorite song that you loved listening to over and over again? And what's now one of your favorite songs to perform at concerts?
Well, it's gonna be the first concert, so I don't know yet. No, I was also not very familiar with the band, although there's a lot of musicians that I admire a lot, and I knew that they play with the band. A couple of like Jack of Astorius, Mike Stern, there's a couple of the heavy, very top of the line musicians that I know for a long time, and I knew that they play with the band at a certain moment. But I wasn't familiar with the music of the band until I met Bobby, who is the former drummer. That was Dylan was talking about him. And through Bobby Colomby, he produced my record. The record that is a couple of months ago is just out. And so I became friends with Bobby, and I worked with him in a lot of different projects. And so I was, like 4 years ago, I was starting to get familiar with the band and with the music. And although I didn't expect to be playing with him, but I knew about the tunes and about who was playing, and I knew about Dylan coming from New Zealand, and I knew about Bob. Actually, we met at the Blue Note a long time ago.
Yes, a while back.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, it's very, very exciting to be playing today for the first time with them. Awesome. So yeah, it's going to be great. My favorite song is Gambling.
Okay,
I don't know why, but I love that song.
Yes.
I love the guitar.
Powerful. It's a good rock.
You start that song. So.
Yeah. No, but that's not why I like it. I like all the tunes, but that one is kind of
big guitar solo.
and very happy. It's a nice song.
Yeah, I like Happy is mine.
Yeah.
That's one of the things about this catalog. I mean, you can go through it, and still, I've been out here with these guys for 3 years, and there's always new stuff that that's one of the great parts about the band is it's just, you know, this isn't just like a Ron Popeil set it and forget it kind of thing. You know, this band, you explained it very well.
Yeah.
It's ever changing.
Yeah.
Just as since 1967, it's had many members. Each of them brought something very special to this band. And, you know, that's one of the things for me personally when I was asked to come and, you know, be a part of fronting the band. The main thing that I wanted to stay true with, and I was very glad that Bobby, Larry, the team was on board, was I didn't want it to in any way be the Bo Show. You know, this is Blood, Sweat, and Tears. If I was coming in to do this, I wanted to be a part of this. And I think 3 years later, looking back on it, it gave me so much. It gave me an opportunity to step out of myself for a little while, catch a little bit of clarity, get back to being dad and husband, which is my true gig. And it's nice to be around people where things run smoothly. Everybody in this band has a great attitude. There's no, you know, one of the things it says on our passes is no prima donnas, right? No passengers. And so we take that very seriously because the real star of this band is the music. So when you come out and see these people play these hits that you've loved your whole life, for me it was Spinning Wheel. That's part of the reason I chose it for the show. It's really amazing, and that was the main reason I didn't want to really step into that Bo Show side of things, was because you're dealing with people's memories. Dealing from their first kiss to their first movie to where, you know, and you hear this from the people when they come see you. So it's a delicate balance to be able to come out and to do what we do as a team, but it takes a team effort to do it. There is no one person that calls the shot or holds the show together. It is definitely, it's every single one of us, all 9 on stage.
Bo, you look a little different than when people remember you. Can you tell us what's with the new look? And
well, you know, the new look for me started a few years back when I joined Blood, Sweat, and Tears, when I cut my hair off, I guess, right? So, and I did when I decided fully to come into this band and to dedicate to it. That first year was a lot of us feeling out the waters. You know, this was supposed to be 3 shows, then it turned into 5 shows, then 8 shows, and now 3 years later, we're out here and we're still doing it. We love it, you know. But the part that encouraged me to shut the Bo side of things down and to solely focus on this was the musicianship and the people. And with that came a change of how I look. And, you know, I'm not busting out like I'm the coolest cat. These are prescription. That's getting old, okay? So, but that really is. There was no motivating factor behind it. You know, ironically, I've caught good, both negative and positive about it. Oh, I loved your long hair, and then people, oh, you look great now. And I always tell folks, you know, the scissors didn't affect the vocal cords. They're still working, you know. So but it's always, you know, listen. When people come up and they tell you, oh, I liked your hair better, I like that. You're in the public eye. You would be amazed some of the people or some of the things people feel like they can just come up and say to you randomly. It's like, wow, you know. But you have to have a thick skin in this business, but you also have to treat people. You know, not everybody knows who you are. Not everybody's kept up with your schedule over the past 10 years. So when they come up and say, "Oh, are you still playing music?" You can't. Why get an attitude and fault people? You know what I mean? The best thing that you can do is encourage them to continue to jump back on board and be a part of what you're doing. And that is a very easy thing for me to do when I mention the name Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
And now you're in a really good place, I think, because this is Epcot World Showcase, and you've got a little World Showcase really right there. So how does that kind of mesh together, being from such diverse places?
I think it's you know, we talk about the same thing. Music is a language. It doesn't matter. It's really a universal language. Of course, I need to speak English to communicate with them, or he would have to speak Portuguese with me.
I speak a redneck dialect he has not yet figured out.
No. Actually, right now I understand every single word you say.
I'm enunciating.
But I mean, you know, when it comes to playing music, I think it's easier than people would think of. Even if I'm from Brazil, or he's from America, he's from New Zealand. or somebody's from Japan or whatever. It's because it becomes one language, and it's pretty much. So it's not hard at all. Actually, it's very smooth, to do that.
What about you, Slick?
Yeah, there's another guy in the band who's from England. He's been living in New York for I think 20 years, but he's originally from England. So yeah, same as what Leo said. Everyone's got different accents, whether it's whatever language they're used to speaking, but music we all relate. We can all relate that way. Yeah. If you can play to a certain level, then we can all relate. So and everyone in the band is phenomenal musicians. So it's very easy. If someone can just play something on stage, we don't have to say anything to each other, and we can all come in, even if the song is not a Blood, Sweat and Tears song, we're just sound checking and we're jamming over a certain song, but everyone can join in because we understand that language. We don't have to actually speak. So that's the beauty of music and being able to speak that language. We're very fortunate. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things too, just to back up what both of them said, we speak through song and through music with each other, but there's also the caliber of musicians that have always been in this band. You never want to be the weakest link. That's what I say every night. I'll go out there and be the weakest link tonight, and that is a hard thing to do, is to be the strongest on stage with such very, very talented musician. So for me, it's not that like I used to hire shifty side musicians. It's more the availability to this kind of talent in this band, for me, has helped me to increase my game, not out of competition with them, out of the love for the catalog, the music, but also the common respect that I have for folks like Dylan. I've told him before, man, I wish I was, had the world by the hat, like you do at 25 years old. Are you lying about your age still?
Yeah.
23. Okay, we'll go down. No, but that really is, to me, that's what sums this all up. Is it's the musicianship, it's the catalog, it's the musicianship, and at the end of the day, we all have fun doing what we do. And if I ever quit digging it, I'll quit doing it, man. Right now, I hope I don't have to quit doing it for at least another 10 or 20. All right? Don't let the gray fool you.
For many years, there was a tribute band here that played all different genres. Have you heard of the landscaping band?
Mulch, Sweat, and Shears. I saw them the last time we were here. I guess we were here for Halloween, a Halloween fest in 2014. We came, and I saw that vehicle driving around with a band, and so at the time I was saying, "Hey guys, check it out!" But that's really cool, man. I mean, that's you get a good chuckle out of it. But honestly, one of the funniest things out is you bring that up. The people that show up to these shows, and you look out in that audience, and you might see someone that's 85, and then you might see one in their 50s or 60s, and then you might see, trickling down into the young. And there are 3 generations of people that come out to see this show. The grandparents, the parents, and the kids. And for me, the people that, still say, "Oh man, I saw you on TV, that's really great." You love all that stuff. But when they tell you, "Hey, I didn't know what Blood, Sweat, and Tears was. I was 9 years old." And you look at this person that's like, "Oh, you're only 19? You look like you're 30 because you're big." And they're like, "Oh, I watched you on Idol and it did this." And then you got the mom there who's going, "Oh, the first memory I ever had of this." And before you know it, they're all lined up. And you see this, and it's like, it's very humbling to see a whole family that is interested in this music. And they love the music. And then you see them singing the words, man. You're like, wow. So to be a part of something that it's sustained itself so long, it's never lost its validity. It's always stayed right where it's supposed to be, with the greatest musicians on the face of the planet, man. That's some pretty cool stuff, especially crossing those generation gaps.
Along the same lines, whether through Blood, Sweat, and Tears or through your own personal careers, do you have a favorite memory performing in concerts on stage with fans or that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, a lot of them. Yeah. I think I should think really hard now to remember, but there's a couple of great moments in the last maybe 35 years that I've been playing with different artists or different shows. And, there's one show that I maybe should pick up of all this. This is the show that I played for the most people ever. That was in Rio de Janeiro. I was living in Europe and I came to Rio with a Portuguese artist that I was playing with. And they were celebrating the 500 years of being, how you say it in English, of colonized, being colonized by Portugal. So there was 500 years ago. So that was in 95, 94. And so every main Brazilian artist would invite a Portuguese artist and they would play together a concert. And the concert was in Ipanema, that's Copacabana. That's the biggest beach in Rio. And I remember I never played for so many people in my life. There were like more than 200,000 people.
Wow.
Because it was for free for the people. And that was really very special because of the amount of audience.
Yeah,
it was like
sea of
endless.
people,
You
yeah.
see like a black thing, and it was like, so that was maybe something really special. But I mean, every show is special, you know. Even if I have to play for 4 people or for 1 people, seriously, it doesn't make a big difference for me the way I would play or the way I would perform. But I mean, of course, it's very impressive to play for such a big audience. So, yeah, that would be maybe the experience. Got you done.
We did a gig, we did a jazz festival last year, Rochester Jazz Festival.
Yep.
And yeah, it was not quite like 200,000. That's something else. But there were thousands of people there, and they weren't. I mean, it was an outdoor gig, and people were passing through, and then like as soon as we started playing, we had a solid audience that didn't move. You know, people that could hear us way at the back. You know, you see them stop as well. It was cool to captivate that many people at a jazz festival where they're probably looking for like the straight ahead stuff. But to have that many people just glued to the stage was really it was something, man. It was my biggest gig, but like the biggest attendance for me in America. So. Yeah, that was a big gig for me. And then I've done solo stuff as well, which has been great. And then like Leo said, when you play like 4 people or whatever, sometimes it's who you're playing with, it's the music you're playing. That's kind of what makes it special as well. Like you can play to a ton of people, but they don't really care or whatever. They're not listening, or you're playing music that that you're not really inspired by. But when you're playing stuff that you really love playing, that just makes it special as well. So and playing music like that last year at the Rochester Jazz Festival with that many people was a very special moment. So, yeah, that would be one of them.
My favorite musical moment, I guess I really have to narrow that down to the American Idol experience. There were a lot of things that I guess benefits from that show. Getting to perform with Leonard Skinner, that was a huge dream of mine, and now I was just texting back and forth with Johnny Van Zant this morning. Somebody put out a fake death that he was dead. And I was like, I'm so glad you did not wake up dead, Johnny. He's like, I am so glad I did not do. But that kind of stuff is surreal for me. The people that I was raised on their music, and now they're my buddies, and I go hang out at shows, or they come out. I'll never forget it. We went down in Jacksonville, and Johnny shows up, and I see Johnny Van Zant walking down the 50-yard line. I'm like, what's Johnny Van Zant doing at my show? There's a Jacksonville Jaguar show. And that kind of stuff's just crazy, and it really, really, after a decade of being on the show, the experiences, the memories. I've lived 3 lifetimes. That's why I always tell people, if you ever catch me complaining too loud, just tell me to shut up. So I don't have that much to complain about, right? But also with Idol, doing the song Spinning Wheel, because, as I said, if I hadn't pulled that song out of my hat, I never in a billion years thought the night that I was looking through these pages of songs and I went, that this would lead to me being out here with these guys. So I have to give Idol its props, but then on the back end, I also have to give my family props too, because I've been doing this since I was 15 and making a living. And the money went from jingling to folding to "Ooh, wow, that's a nice sized check." You know, so it's my fish stories aren't even that good. You know what I mean? So, but that's probably the most memorable moment for me, is just that experience on Idol and how much they instilled in me to be able to move forward and develop a solo career, which in turn I'm now with these guys. Life's good.